Welcome to the monthly Copywriting Clinic, happening a week early this month, so it's a little ad hoc. Yeah, we have a nice small group today, so we'll just do some chatting. We got some email stuff to talk about, some new tools that Agnieszka has discovered, and some emails to look at. So we'll just kind of go with the flow, and hopefully my internet holds out. Did I freeze again? No. I keep freezing.
Video, I think.
Maybe if I turn my video off, maybe that'll help a little bit.
Yeah, that seems to be much better. At least we're hearing you clearer.
Good. All right. Well, where do we want to start?
Can you repeat the last couple sentences you said, because you broke up quite a bit there?
No. What did I say? I think I was just seeing where we wanted to start, since I keep freezing and we have some stuff to look at. Oh, guys hearing me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Coming through.
Okay. Okay.
Sugar and complexity.
Yes. Indeed. All right, I'm getting some emails pulled up that we can look at and analyze. Just bear with me here.
Kara, we can hear you. Somewhat.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh man, this is going to be challenging. This keeps happening all day. Okay. All right, well, let's see if this works. So, Michael, go ahead for the recording. Let us know where this email came from again.
Yeah, so I recently discovered a psychologist, Alfred Adler, and it led me to this lady's YouTube channel. And I watched a couple of her YouTubes, and I thought, hey, man, she's got some interesting things here. And then, of course, there was a link to her website, which, you know, a simple offer, a lead magnet, a little helpful kind of guide that you could use to, you know, a little self-help guide for your, you know, identifying some of your issues. So I clicked on that, and of course, signed up for her email list. And, you know, honestly, I've been really impressed. I mean, the lead magnet that had was very useful. There were some things that didn't really apply to me, but I thought, you know, this is really good stuff. And then the next day I got a first email, which I believe is this one here. And I read through it, and I thought, oh yeah, this is some good stuff. I mean, you know, it is a little bit more wordy than a lot of emails, but at the same time, I think it, you know, it's kind of formatted where it's really helpful. And of course, she's got like a picture of herself at the bottom, and then getting an email for the last 3 days now. Each one has been one that I'm like, I'm kind of happy to see the email and, you know, read into and listen a little bit more. It certainly has encouraged me to go back to her to her YouTube channel as well, and you know, watch more of the videos that she's you know, she's prepared, and she's done a really good job on those, as a matter of fact, as well. So and she's taking, you know, like really pretty complex you know, ideas, and putting them into like little 5-6 minute videos, and you know, breaking them into little pieces of this psychologist Alfred Adler, which also happens happens to be a very interesting, he's almost like a psychologist for a project manager. He talks about tasks and things like that. And so it's, it just seems to be fitting right into my life rather nicely. And so I just wanted to throw it out there for everybody else to kind of, see what you guys think. Talk about the things that she's doing, right? The formats, the kind of the highlighting, the fact that she's got a picture and she's got, links to more information. I think these are all good things. It's certainly things that I've recognized, I've clicked on, and like I said, or like I think you said the last time we were talking, Kara, was this idea of like kind of dating, and like, like giving people kind of information that they want to hear, so it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of like, you want to know more about this person, because they're bringing interesting stuff. They're bringing quality of life to you.
Yeah, definitely. I was just reading this sentence and just, I currently work in a psychiatry as a psychologist with people in crisis and started my training to become a dynamic psychotherapist. That's quite a sentence.
Yeah, there is a lot of psychs in there.
And I mean, obviously somebody receiving this email already has gotten a little introduction with her. And so a little bit of trust has been built. Like for someone, if like, I don't know anything about her, I haven't gotten any of her stuff, haven't seen anything, my first thought is like, okay, well, it's all about her. But, I know that there's been a little bit of a touch happen before this. So that's not necessarily bad practice. What I'd like to see is her, I haven't read down into this part, but seeing how she could connect this a little bit more with the reader, where right now, okay, just learning about a bunch about her, and so my thought is like, well, how does this apply to me? Why should I care?
I like her use of emoticons.
Mm-hmm.
Because a long form email is a very difficult thing to keep an attention, I mean, Michael's pretty cerebral, but a lot of people may not have patience for that long an email, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's selling to intellectuals, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting what she's chosen to bold and whatnot.
The bold stuff's all about herself.
Right.
Because she
I'd
thinks
love,
she's important.
Yeah, even something, something like this, she says, okay, and patience in parentheses, almost like it's secondary. And so, I mean, I know she's, making this personal connection, but I would have liked to seen it kind of switched around. Like, this is how my patients and you have, can reliably learn more about yourself. And it's really helped me too, like seeing how to switch that around a little bit to connect with the audience a bit more.
Yeah, and a lot of the large words that she's using there, it's just like ego pleasing. It's not really necessary or useful to the reader at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like using the word psychiatry, psychologist, psychodynamic, psychotherapist all in one sentence. That's self, that's like eating or whatever. Oh, I love this. This is great. That's like me writing a huge run-on sentence that takes half a page, like Jules Verne. That's me writing for me what I want to write. And then, and also, and then, and also, and then, and this, and that, and this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I would love to write. But that's not how I write, because that's not how people read.
I would say, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that she's really interested in this subject, and it's so I think that's that comes across. But I really find this feedback incredibly valuable, honestly. Like you know, I'm looking at it from my point of view, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm interested in this. And you know, it's interesting
you're
to
her
see from
ideal
different
target market.
perspectives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are her target
And
market.
it's probably, you know, it's something that you know, because I was considering you know, contacting her and saying, hey, I'd like to do an interview with you, you know, but like this information is actually going to be even better, you know, that hey, I've been receiving your emails and I've got some feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, you have to remember, but don't tell her that. But like a lot of psychologists and stuff study psychology because they have issues, right? And I would suspect that she may be a little bit of a narcissist, just reading her email. And so, you know, she's probably learning how other people tick through studying psychiatry as a psychologist to become a psychodynamic psychotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
Agnieszka, did you say that she cares about herself?
Yeah, a lot more than other people. Look at the bolded sentences.
What I do like is the picture and the signature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
You know,
picture's
she
nice.
gets more. And I mean, and this is like, obviously we don't know what's going on in this person's head. I mean, this is a very, very common mistake that, you know, copywriters make. And especially, you know, her
Most people write like
primary,
that one.
well, and she's in psychotherapy. Her copywriter is not her profession, but she is doing, you know, she's, as far as just like getting going and writing some stuff. I mean, it's fine. But when we're talking definitely about like higher strategies and stuff, and that's why I want to, you know, distinguish, we don't know what's going on in her head or her heart. You know, of course she cares about people and she cares about her audience, but it's a very common thing and easy for all of us to do is to just think like me, I am, I, this is what's important to me. And this is, you know, this is what I do. And, you know, this is my mission and all this stuff where, you know, we need to see how we can make it more about them. I mean, because really when you read between the lines, I mean, there's tons of stuff in here about the reader, and she does care about her reader, but then how could we switch the stuff around and you know, see about how to connect it more with the reader. And I mean, pretty much like this is all about her. And down here is where, you know, my mission to help you finally, like, you know, learn more about yourself and discover the incredibly rich world of psychodynamic psychology. So, you know, something
you
like
know,
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, she's also putting herself as an authority. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I think my stuff's just being choppy again.
Yeah, I was choppy. She's putting herself as an authority where, you know, she's showing you why, like that's the social proof, like you should listen to me because I'm just great, whatever, right? Which is good. And maybe, you know, like maybe the same approach is not right for everybody, because if she really is positioning herself as a leader, she should not be reaching out as a friend. I would switch those sentences around, of course, but she doesn't, you know, she needs to seem like an authority, like a leader, like somebody who knows more than other people as well, right? That's her whole basis. So when we're talking about regular marketing emails, when you try to equal yourself with the person and be buddy, and I'm your best friend, I'm the person you already known for 10 years or whatever, that's a different energy than I'm the teacher and I know more than you and I want to show you what the real thing is and all that.
What do you think about the like the PS there and the idea of like kind of forewarning with, I'm going to be sending you an email and it's about this particular topic?
That's good.
You think that's a good idea?
That's perfect.
Yep. Yep. The PS is like really valuable real estate, and it can be leveraged in a lot of different ways. And so I think that's a good way to do it. It can be a way to reiterate an offer that was put up in the rest of the email. You know, there's definitely a lot of good things that can be done with the PS, and this is one of them.
You know, you know, there's two other emails I sent you. The third one, she really, and you know, similar to what we were talking about earlier, it's about her, but she talks about her own anxiety. And I wondered what your guys' thought about that is, because like in that particular case, she's making herself very vulnerable to, you know, a pretty wide open audience. And I was
Yeah.
wondering what you guys thought about that.
So that was this one on anxiety and me. I like that she put the cute
Yeah,
little
I think so.
emoji in the subject line.
By the way, according to the subjectline.com guide, the emoji should go at the beginning, not at the end.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because then no matter how small the screen is, you're ensuring that they see it, it stands out. Versus if it gets cut off through the width of the screen, it would be just like you didn't use an emoji.
That's a good note. See, at least here she's, you know, connecting, like maybe you can relate. So at least she's, you know, knowing that she's talking to people.
Well, but I would have started this email with, are you friends with that? Are you familiar with anxiety? Like, has anxiety visited you in the past? It's been my companion since I was a teenager.
That's good.
And then for me, it wasn't just, I would take that wasn't just part completely out. And I would say for me, it was visible for everyone to see. And then I would explain how it wasn't just on the inside, but it was on the outside. Oh,
Well, I mean, the thing that I got from this was, you know, like, wow, she's put out a lot of information about herself so quickly. I mean, this is the third email, and I mean, I know about her high school experience, you know.
and that's how
To me, that's a rather intimate relationship already that she's kind of established with her readers. I don't know how many people have, you know, held on to this, you know, that, but for those that have, she's definitely, you know, like really put herself out there.
Yeah, storytelling email. When you take a character, in this case it's her, and you tell a story about them, right? And people get into it because they want to know more. What happened then?
And of course, you know, it always depends on the, you know, the industry and who you're talking to. But, you know, in general, I mean, vulnerability is a good connector. Like even just us in like our personal lives. I mean, you know, when someone gets real with me and gets vulnerable, like that's when I really feel that heart connection and, you know, have a lot more interest. So again, it depends on who's writing, where's it going to, what the industry is, all that stuff. But yeah, vulnerability can definitely be a good connector.
So, I mean, in this case, she's probably talking to people that are obviously, you know, looking for psychological help. And so I think to some degree, this is probably a tactic that she's thought about.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's certainly one of the things in regard to strategies is being able to know your audience. Do you think that comes through in this?
Overall, I do, because I mean, this is what is going to be, you know, if she were to do some, you know, extensive audience research, if it was needed to with her, you know, with her audience, she would, you know, I'm sure anxiety would be really high up on the common challenges that her clients face. And so being able to connect with them right off the bat, and, you know, I see I see what's behind this of trying, you know, she's trying to express empathy and just like, hey, I see you. I know what you're going through because I've been there myself. And so there's, I mean, there's always room for improvement, but overall the sentiment and the, you know, the idea behind it, I think is really good.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of vulnerability by putting out her anxiety and all her troubles, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So like when we get down into here, I would switch it around. So, you know, life doesn't obey inspirational quotes, neither does anxiety and emotion. And so I would cut this out and just say it is possible to thrive while feeling anxious. Doesn't have to be, you know, I discovered this and I found this. At this point, like she is the authority. You've made that connection. If they're already reading down here, they're feeling a connection with what you're sharing with them. So at this point, like, drive it home. It is possible to thrive while feeling anxious, you know, and just start pounding it in that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a powerful sentence. I would want to keep reading more after that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Especially somebody who's like struggling with anxiety right now while they're reading this, and then they see that, and that's, you know, that's a nice empowering statement. Gives some hope. Oh, this is a nice little send off. I want to share more with you, but this email is already getting pretty long. If you're still interested, check back tomorrow. I would take out the if you're interested, you know, just check back tomorrow to read what helped me go from very anxious to still anxious.
Hey, Kara,
Yeah.
if you press Control F and type I space, it'll tell you how many I's are in this document.
19.
And how many words overall?
To be fair, there's one eye on the left-hand side.
How what?
There's
Oh.
a one eye on the left.
All right, 18 then. 18. I know you guys are seeing a glimpse into my Gmail. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. You know, and it's easy to fall into that because we get stuck in saying things like about how, you know, I believe and I've found this and I discovered that. And if you're positioning yourself as the authority, just cut that crap out, cut that fluff, and just tell them what you know.
This is what it is. And you need to do it because you have this problem. Directly solve this problem. I know because I'm the authority.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's interesting because the whole industry is pushing towards shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter emails. And she's doing these long form storytelling emails and they're working. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for this particular audience, especially intellectuals working with intellectuals, that works really well.
Well, if you were analyzing this though, I mean, like if you're looking at like open rates and how much are you able to see like how much time people are spending on this? Like what kind of feedback can you get from the information that you get in monitoring emails to tell if this is an effective approach or if it's not hitting?
Well, I mean, this could very well be hitting. Her subject is pretty good. Her intro sentence is pretty good. When you write an email, you have basically 4 seconds, right? The 2 seconds for the subject to work. And if it works, they open. And once they open, and you have another 2 seconds for the first sentence. Her first sentences have been pretty catchy. Not totally about me, more about her, but still pretty catchy. And so I think her open rates would be good. Is there a call to action or a click that she's asking for in this email? Is it just an informational email? Because the other way to know if they actually read the whole thing is to see if they clicked, but there's no way to click. There's purely.
So that's something to add, would be to have some kind of call to action to verify that they're actually being engaged.
Right.
But not necessarily, because if she's actually giving them to you as gifts, if she wants to gain your trust, she did that. She gave you 3 emails, she asked for nothing, and now you're like, wow, this lady's cool. She's giving me cool information, you know? So maybe that's the technique she's using.
Mm-hmm.
In which case you would put the call to action every third or something email, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm. I think general rule of thumb is like 75% nurture emails, 25% selling. You know, of course, that's a generalization, but.
Right. And I'm tempted to put at least one link to the website, or at least something so they can go and buy something if they really want to. But the technique is to not put anything. Like exactly how she did it.
Mm-hmm. I have one of my clients that I just got done redoing her whole email sequence. And so I did kind of what we were just talking about, is I went through and looked in the back end and analyzed the emails that she had and what the open rates were, what was being clicked. You could tell like Active Campaign lets you see like how many times a person opened the email. So they had some that were open several times. And it was interesting, there was like a lot of different things that needed to be improved. But one of them, for example, was, so her lead magnet was a book, a full book. And right after sending this book, she sent what may as well have been a book and an email. It was so long. It was like 5 emails. She was only sending them once a week for 5 weeks. And by like the 3rd week, they basically, you know, some of them have forgotten about her because, you know, it's been so long since they've seen one, but these were such long emails. And I was like, you just sent them a book and now you're asking them to read another book in your emails. And so we had some where she gave away like an MP3 recording for like a guided meditation, and it was buried way, way down at the bottom of this email. Not a single person in her list had clicked on that download link, not a single one.
No,
And yeah, because they had no idea it was there. And, you know, and she had like pretty big, you know, she did pretty good on splitting things up, you know, as far as having white space, but there was some good, you know, big paragraphs and things like that. And so I just got done completely redoing her whole sequence. And most of the emails I was able to break up into like 3 different emails. And of course, you know, making improvements in there in itself. But, you know, as far as the concepts, where she would have, you know, 3 or 4 different concepts in a single email. And so, you know, just trying to break that up. But that's where kind of thinking about like long form versus short form. And so, you know, we obviously when we'll see, you know, how the new one actually performs, and then it'll be fun to see like a comparison, a side by side, which, you know, we'll do a report for. But for, you know, the first email, we're all right, you just gave them a book, have a nice short and sweet welcome email. You know, has a little bit of like empowering language. You know, it's she's like a life coach for women, and so, you know, had some good stuff to support them, but not a whole lot to read, nothing that they couldn't read in a couple minutes. And then, you know, a couple days later, teasing out another concept, and then we gave away another thing for free. So that's where we actually did have every email had something to click on, but more often than not, it was something free. So, you know, this is where I was still, so I can also then gauge performance, where that's where I can see what they've been clicking on, but I'm not asking them to buy anything. I just gave them away something for free. And then, you know, she has a small on-demand course that supports her book. So that became the next offer, which I would put into at first I put into the PS of the email. And that's where, you know, that valuable real estate, I use that of like, you know, do you want some extra support, and to tease out these concepts a little bit more, and then, you know, linked to that program where they could go get it. But it was really soft selling. It wasn't a big hard sell. And then the second email gave them away that free meditation. Third email, just more support, teased out that extra course a little bit more, but again, just being really soft. And then it was, I think, email number 4, where I did a little bit harder promotion on that course, on that next thing. And the next email gave something away for free. gave away another free video. But there was something to click. And, when we got a little bit further into the email sequence, then it's offering for them to have to schedule a one-on-one with her. But all of it was making sure that it was along with a piece of value and not really hard pressure selling. So she's really happy with how the new sequence looks, and I'm excited to see how it performs.
In regard to that, like timing, is there a way to kind of create the circumstance that people kind of self-choose how much interaction they get, where somebody that's interested wants an email every day, where someone that's sort of interested maybe wants, 1 or 2 emails a day, and or maybe once a week or once a month? Is that something that you can design? And then what are your thoughts in regard to, like, when someone signs up for an email list, should you give them more stuff and then start kind of lessening it as they go, or what are your thoughts?
That's what I would say. Especially at first, when you first say it, just make this connection, and then they first download your lead magnet, you want to be able to stay on their radar. So it's good to touch them again with something else the next day or 2 days later. And then, I typically do like every couple days. And then after, a few emails, maybe we'll do a 3-day stint in there instead, and, start spacing them out a little bit more. But that's not the only way to do it. Like, for example, Patrick, who's now just onboarded into Autonomy Unlimited, he writes John Bush's emails. And I'm not sure if anyone here is on John Bush's list, but Patrick writes emails for him every single day. And they're all based on relevance of what's going on in the world, ties it in to John's offers and stuff. But he does emails every single day. But there's an option to, rather than, because that's where, you have the unsubscribe at the bottom, but making it so that you don't have to lose them completely. So it gives the option where you can choose to just get less emails, and then you'll only get, 1 email a week or whatever you choose. And then the programs, you can build that into the structure to make sure that you're complying.
Yeah, because I think I am on John Bush's email thing, but I'm just
Yeah.
looking through mine, and I don't see him. I don't see any emails recently, so obviously I've chosen one of the options that gives me less.
I know, I'm pretty sure I saw one in my inbox this morning. I usually see one every day. So there's different ways of doing that. And I know we're going to be, Patrick's going to be doing promotions for Autonomy now, and he's going to start, that's what he specializes in, is like those deep daily emails. So he's going to actually start doing that for Autonomy soon. I'm excited to see how he does that.
Yeah, I just say there's of the people that I follow that I'm on email lists, there's only there are a couple that they're sending out like 4, 5, sometimes 6, 7 emails a day. Greg Manarino is one in which he's like, every time he sends a video out, and he does at least 2 a day, he's sending out an email. Hey, I got a video out. And that does get a little bit aggravating when you're like looking through your emails and there's 50 of his in there.
See, I think multiple a day is too much, in my opinion. I mean, again, I guess it always depends on the industry, who's the sender, who's the receiver, but in general, I think that's too much. Even the 1 a day, I've heard Patrick talk about this though. And so this one was just sent this morning, and how he talked about it was, obviously most people, the majority of people, are not going to open every single email every single day, but there is going to be that one subject line, that one thing that gets that person to open the email when they show interest, when they want to, and it could just be that one that has them take action. So even like this, and he does pretty these are long emails. He does them every single day. But there's always a soft offer somewhere in here. And so like this one here is the recordings from this festival, the Self-Reliance Festival, the private recordings. So yeah, it's a very interesting strategy. Now, Agnieszka, do you have any opinions or comments on this kind of stuff in the daily emails and things?
I'm muted. I think that if somebody had a prompt every single day to do something, they would either be engaged and continue wanting to do it, whatever, or do it, or they would unsubscribe. And so I think these daily emails are a great divide thing, like the people that are really into it and the people that aren't. If you don't want people who are straggling around the corners, you know, if you don't want people who are older, because older people would not be able to tolerate that very well, I don't think. Maybe specific older people like Popodolsky who are really interested in specific topics. But I think that people over 50, over 60, daily emails annoy them.
Mm-hmm.
Younger people can handle daily emails. And so it really depends on your target market, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and
get annoyed from daily emails.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Patrick has mentioned too, that this is also a good strategy for keeping your list clean, because, you know, the people that aren't going to ever take any action, then get off the list. They're going to unsubscribe. That's fine. They weren't going to ever get anything from you anyway. So, but the people that are going to stay on this list, even if they're, again, not opening every single email, there could just be that one perfect email that's going to, you know, push them off the fence.
It's like separating the wheat from the chaff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think about because like I've got one on my email list that's it's the Sovereign Man, Simon Black, but he does something that's different in like he's got some emails that come from him, and then there's some that come from Sovereign Man, and it's usually like the weekly recap of the week's events or something like that. And to me, I generally click on that one because I want to know like what he saw this week. That's, you know, so I mean, it's useful. But then the other thing is that, you know, kind of that personal, like it's coming from me. What do you think about that strategy? You know, like having kind of your business version and then like that more personal touch. Because I know Richard does that too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what Richard does.
I've
I don't
seen,
think that any business is done in business. I think everything is personal. Unless I didn't understand what you meant. But anytime anybody acts on business, it's usually for personal or emotional reasons.
well, in the case of Sovereign Man, it's like a, you know, it's kind of like an investment newsletter kind of thing. And those summaries do work. So it's like once a week, you're getting a summary of the things that happened this week that, you know, might be useful to keep on top of. That's a very useful thing for me, I think. But then then there's other, you know, like maybe it's 3 times a week that I get a message from him, and it's more of a personal nature, like he's talking about a specific thing that maybe happened to him or he sees as something important that you might want to check out. Sometimes I open them, most of the times I don't. But there again is that like that subject line, because he does have interesting subject lines too, that sometimes it's too good to not click.
Mm-hmm.
What's his subject line here in this one?
Oh, this one?
No, that's the Patrick email.
Yeah.
That's a good subject line.
Mhm.
Have you guys been using that subjectline.com thing, testing your subjects?
Not as much as I should.
Because even though I've been using it, I still make mistakes, and I still don't. I still don't get how the algorithm works. Like this morning, I wrote a subject and it got a score of like 89. And I was like, oh, that's a shitty score. Okay, let's try it. And I changed this and changed that and changed this. In the end, all it really wanted is some punctuation to make it look more like a sentence,
Hmm.
Oh,
not
weird.
just like a bunch of words randomly on the page, right? And once I just put the punctuation and I put square brackets around the word lead. So this is the lead, this lead needs your help or something like that. That I think that's kind of what it was. But I put the brackets around need, and then I put a colon at the end and put MLS number, but I didn't put the actual MLS number, just put MLS number. And that totally changed the subject, and it was 100%.
Interesting.
So I didn't actually change the subject. I just added some little
Yeah.
differentiators.
Yeah, I think those tools are, yeah, I don't understand how those algorithms work either. I think like they're really good tools to use, but then just, yeah, just testing, right? Split testing can be really effective.
So this one particular client requests that I test, right? So everything takes a little bit longer, but we test.
Mhm.
Can I share my screen for a second? I'm gonna show you
Yeah.
guys this too. Yeah. Because I wanted to show you two tools, right? Which I guess it doesn't matter. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna share this screen so that I can see you guys. I can look at you in the eyeballs. Okay, so here's the first thing, right? So this is the email, and it said this lead needs your help, and it had a dash and MLS listing. So all I changed is I put the brackets and a colon, right? And that went from 80 to 100%. And if you take,
So like in that, those brackets, are those doing like so you're, those are specific leads to those specific email recipients?
well, the brackets are nothing. They're not an actual code or anything. It's just to differentiate, just to bring highlight. And apparently with these brackets, it works better than without them.
Huh.
So let's paste it here. Okay, so we pasted the same topic, right? So then I'm going to delete the brackets, and I'm going to delete this and then put it like I had it in the beginning, like this, right? So we have an emoticon at the beginning, and then we have the subject that I wanted to use, and we click evaluate. Okay, then now I guess I had slightly different. So what's it telling me here that it's missing, right? The capitalization is in the wrong part of the subject. Right here, it should appear in the first half of the subject, but I have MLS. I can't do anything about it because I want to use the MLS anyway. Still good to know. Include word you or your, that's +7 points right here. Contains emoji +8 points. One word in the subject line is all caps +5 points because that brings your attention to it. And contains punctuation. Oh, I guess it's the dash, +4 points.
So,
But
so
then-
it doesn't care what emoji you use. It just says emoji.
Yeah, it doesn't care what emoji. It doesn't have an ability to discern, I don't think.
So like a smiley face versus like a frown face. It would seem to me like that would be better to have like a, like a
Wait.
smiley face than a.
Yeah, we can have anything. It doesn't really matter, but a smiley face, because this website is, so this is a business lead. So the person reading this email is a realtor that has a business listing.
Yeah.
And the business listing was listed by this company on a different website. This realtor doesn't know about this, right? Or he just thought about it last week or something. And his listing, his business listing, he's selling a business. He's not selling a house, he's selling a business. His business listing I've gotten some attention, right? So for this, I want to refer to MLS so he knows that it has something to do with one of his MLS listings. I don't have the ability to put the actual MLS listing number there because the technology doesn't work that way for this particular line, but I can change any emoticon there, right? But when we go to emoji and we look at all the emojis that we can have, right? Can I make this bigger? No. I mean, I can have it clapping hands. I had the waving hand there, or that's what I thought it was anyway. But really, there's not that many, like, to make it sound more like business, still like business, you know, all these happy faces, they're just a little bit, and these animals, they don't really do much for me either.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I could put the big eyeball. Wouldn't that be a little weird? Or 2 eyeballs? Look at this, buddy. Look over here. Right? But what would you guys think? What would you guys think would be a good idea for the emoji for this? I mean, we could do these 2 people, but isn't this a sexual women holding hands? No, that we don't want to do that.
I
We
did,
can
I mean, that get the.
I don't know if the client will be old or young. I don't want to mislead them there. We could put the
What
woman.
about like a check mark?
Okay.
Or maybe like a check, like a check board, or like a, you know, one of those boards where they got,
Yeah,
they would
see,
do a
that's
check
one of-
mark.
check mark's not one of the options, but this Masonic symbol is definitely one of the options.
That would probably get some attention.
Yeah, I think the raised hand is probably the best one.
Right. Well, that was my analysis, right? But there was this other tool that I wanted to show you guys. I have 2 clients using it because, well, because the marketing lead on these 2 projects is the same and he likes it. But I'm gonna log in and show you guys. So I've been using this tool, like this is my client's tool, right? But I've been using it like this for other clients. I'll show you. So here we have, oh, okay. So I go to any of these series, right? And I press plus and it gives me this new thingy, right? And I go to my Word doc. By the way, did you notice the name of the series? Look, Damas Verification Campaign.
I did.
Ouch.
When they the first series of emails, but they didn't figure out that they have a live lead. This is the Look Damas series where they're like, okay, look, you really have a lead there. But it's an internal thing. Right. So we're gonna put this there and then we're going to take this content here with the things I'm gonna call, oh, you know what, I should do a 5% too, because that'll make a difference. Show you guys. Copy this, put it in here. Okay, so I have a bunch of, so first of all, it's the email is too long. It is variable here. Oh no, yeah, so I have to take something out. What did I do? Yes, I took out this sentence. Okay, so now I think the maximum word is 160 that it's gonna evaluate for you. It has no question, the email has no question in it, and I got docked points for that, right? My subject is too long. It would like it shorter. And I could do it, you know, I could do it like this.
So those bars, the little, oh, okay, I see. So it's,
Right.
that's the optimum.
And I could do this. It wants a question, right? So I could do this, right? Make it into a question. And then here, it shows you the spam word count, right? Oh, no obligation. Where did I put that? Actually, I changed that. So this is the old copy because I was working with this email this morning, but I just wanted to show you guys how this works, right?
So how is it identifying the
So
spam
there's
words?
no obligation. Yeah, it's
Oh,
right here.
okay.
Thing is identifying spam words. So we have, there's no obligation on any kind. This, my boss added this to the email, but when I'm going to change it, there's no need to end your card info. Well, or just be say the card info. I can't put credit card because credit is a spam trigger. Right? If I credit card right here. Oh no, it's not a card. It's not a,
No,
it's
I'll
not
let-
a, oh, so
Yeah.
for you, so I changed that too. I changed that to you have a qualified live lead instead of for you. I took this one out, oops, exclamation, right? And spam words, get credit sale now. So sale, I can't do anything about the word sale because my name is businesses for sale. So there's nothing I can do. Now we have it right here. So let's just take that out. Oh, spam code around 3. And then we have get. We can change the word receive. I literally saved this for you guys. So you have content. There, I already did all this like 2 hours ago, and that's why I know all these words, right?
Hey, I'm
And
glad you
this
brought
is-
it.
I pasted it from Word.
Yeah, no kidding.
Convenience, right? So, so this should be a link, right? I'm actually not going to be using this CRM at all for this email. I'm using a different CRM, but I'm using this email CRM for testing, right? And you know, if I was using this CRM, because there is no buttons, because this is a plain text CRM for first contact, all of this stuff on the right, you see, it's all about first contact. It's not for people already on your mailing list. You can write a list like the lady psychologist wrote. This is all for people you don't know, right? Or people you barely know. So that's why it has to be
So
quick.
these are the top of the funnel kind of emails.
Now I have 2 questions. Right, and I think this is, I actually took this out because I decided that that wasn't a very useful thing. I took this out too.
Does it matter if the positivity is in red?
If what?
What is the positivity? What does that mean?
Positivity. Look, it didn't
Oh.
even go up.
Oh my God.
Did it go up?
It did a little bit.
It went up by 4. Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering if you write something narcissistic, if the positivity go up.
Is there anything like this for
It
you
went
know,
up
like
20.
specific power words for?
Positivity went up when I wrote something narcissistic, not down. Yeah.
Were you
I
saying
was
something?
like, you know, power words for specific like industries and stuff like that. Is there any is there any way to, or is there any program that does those kind of things? Like where words that like really impact, or like, is, is there anything that like collects those words, or you just have to keep those words to yourself?
What do you mean with collects what words?
Well, like, you know, like B2B, when it comes to business people know B2B, but everybody else doesn't know what B2B means. But B2B might be one of those words
Yep.
that is a power word for that particular group.
Yeah, you always write in the languaging that's important to your people.
But is there anything that kind of
Anyway, I
collects
put a bunch of
those words that like are impactful to your
There
audience?
are,
Or
there
do
are
you just-
definitely, you can find like articles and resources out there that have lists of power words for different purposes. So I've definitely seen those, and I probably even have some saved somewhere.
So watch this. So you see how we have a spam word count at 1, but positivity at 16. Now, positivity is at 18, but spam word count is at 2.
So success is a spam word.
Weird.
Now we have positivity at 16, spam word 1, but the reading level went up, didn't it?
Now, you
Because I
said
used the
that this is a
fancy
paid
word.
program?
How what?
This is a paid program, or is this a free program?
I think it's a paid program. I'm not sure because 2 of my clients paid for it. Let's check. Oh, pricing. Let's see this. Yeah, it's a paid program.
It looks like it might be worth it, huh? And what you were saying, this is for initially for kind of the top of the funnel type emails, not necessarily for.
Yeah, I think that is specifically for, so this is one of the emails that I'd already edited. And I didn't care about the fact that the subject line was 10 because I figured if it's truncated like this, it's still useful. You know what I mean? But the thing is, the subject length, it's all talking about what you can see because it's not like the algorithm doesn't care, I don't think, as long as it's not 50 characters. And he had me put all this bullshit here, and I told him this could be automated, but he still wanted it here, not in the unsubscribe bit. So it's taken from my word count. So I had to do, 111 words with this shit at the bottom. Well, not shit, but see, this email doesn't have any extraneous words. Like I went over it and over it and over it, removing all the words that it didn't until I had 111. And yeah, the reading level is high, but that's because these are realtors and brokers and franchisors, you know what I mean? They're not children that I'm writing to, or consumers or regular people or whatever.
Now that's interesting because
But
like
these
if
kind of
you're
know you.
when it says reading level, is that dialable for particular audiences? Because like if you're talking to the general public, you're probably, like you just said, if you're talking to realtors, that's going to be different than if you're talking to the general public.
Yeah. And reading level just says with like how difficult words, like the word commercial and the word marketplace are considered large, difficult words by this algorithm, right?
So I like
It's not like
anyway.
Wile E. Coyote with his wistful ways, you know.
If we have any chance, can we review my friend's website?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm done with this anyway. I just wanted to show you how cool this tool
Yeah,
is.
that's cool.
It is
That's
kind
good
of
stuff.
expensive, so a month.
Yeah, that was amazing.
But I still use this. This is where, like, all this information is pure information for you. What does the algorithm look for? Anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing so that Jerry can share. That's professional.
There it is.
Hey, at least he's
Working
not
hard
sitting.
with his pillow.
At least he's not sitting in a bathtub.
In a bathtub?
Yeah. Heard about that, right?
Eating chips.
Oh yeah, that was a
In the
good one.
bathtub.
Oh my God. Did I tell you about that, Agnieszka? Had a client not
I
that long
was
ago.
there.
What?
Bathtub.
Oh, the bathtub. Yeah, the bath. Oh God, that was the whole thing. Most recent.
I was there for the bathtub.
Most recently, we had a
We're
client.
We'd have-
Most recently, we had a client that spent like a whole meeting eating a bag of chips with, you know, just would not, we even tried to mute him and he unmuted himself. And while we're trying to like present stuff and just ate a whole bag of chips, crinkling the chips, right down to like pouring the bag of chips into his mouth at the end. It was awful.
Meeting etiquette
He
101.
was the client though, right?
I guess.
Yeah, but when behavior like that interferes with work, I don't like it. Like, I don't care if
No.
somebody's eating something while during the meeting or whatever, but if it starts to screw around, like if it's interfering with you hearing each other and stuff, then that's not good.
Exactly.
Call to call, calling with efficiency. What do you spell? What the hell is a management culture?
Just so you know, this is a friend in Mexico who is bilingual, and this is his website.
So this is directly from Spanish, is what you're saying? And this sentence makes sense in Spanish.
No, so I believe his company is all about providing customer service for people who need to speak to somebody in English.
Hmm.
And
Okay,
This
what
is
does that have to
interesting.
do with management culture?
Yeah, I'm still like, it's like just from reading the website, I'm
And-
still
and
trying
for
to figure
me,
out what they offer.
The sum.
But this is definitely relevant here in Mexico. Every other day I hear Bob trying to he gets a call from somewhere here and he's like, I don't speak Spanish. I could basically just tell him call2call.co.
Please.
The water's on the big guy, for God's sakes.
I don't know what the TAS, the TAS industry is.
A lot of it is badly translated. Or
yeah, I had the same thoughts. That's why I wanted to bring it here.
Like we make you save on office space. If you do not save, we'll beat you every Friday. That's how that reads to
Oh,
me.
man, this is a great opportunity. I mean, this is a great
Where's the
business,
play
if
when
you
you
ask
don't
me.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what the TAS industry is.
That's what I was saying too.
I mean,
I don't know
I need to
their
talk to this guy.
customer. I don't know why their customer would care about. Oh, but look, now they're a staffing agency. What?
Huh.
I'm confused. I have no idea what they do or who they work for or what they could do
Yeah.
for me. And I certainly don't want to join them and grow now that I don't know what they're doing. Which direction I would grow? It could be scary.
I'm glad for your feedback.
They seem very insecure. They're like, well, here's some of the things we do. And if you have any suggestions, you know, it'd be nice because we don't really know what we're doing.
Oh, it's the
Let's,
place to work.
Jerry, let's have a conference call with this gentleman.
Well, let's do it.
We definitely need to help him out here.
Absolutely. So he's
Company
in-
in Mexico, why are there all these white people in this picture?
Because that's what
It really
the,
bothers me when malls are all plastered with people who look like me and I look around, no one looks like me except for me. It makes me kind of pissy because it's like, why? Why make these people, like these people already think that they should be whiter, which is stupid because they shouldn't, because my father always told me I should be darker. But like, why plaster blonde, blue-eyed people everywhere? It's crazy. Anyway, soapbox. I apologize.
it's definitely something to consider.
Staffing edge, committed to helping you save. I don't understand what they do. I need a demo to find out how it works.
Let's see.
We don't know what they do, but we want a demo. I'd be scared to ask for a demo for a company and what it does. What if it's like, you know, something inappropriate and I'm like watching it?
If you guys want, I can pass you the Facebook page to see if maybe you can get a better under.
Man, my energy
you ever
is,
been
or my
Richmond?
internet's so
That
bad.
makes sense now.
Well, I see there's BC and Merida.
No,
So-
Richmond is that island people. It's basically me in China. So reading that website, I conclude that these people are Chinese and they don't speak very much English. That's cool. I like that. They're cute. They're cuter than their stock photos. They should take some good photos, these guys. Right?
Real people.
Real humans. Like the ones that walk down the street.
But yeah,
Okay.
what is a TAS industry? That where was that explained?
Yeah.
It was not. They
It was not.
expect us to know. So they only want to work with people who already know what tasking.
That would probably help us.
I don't know what's a near shore solution. What's a near shore? Like they don't work inland? Probably not.
So I'm gonna have to tell him to explain the TaaS industry.
For sure.
English word makes no sense. Near shore as opposed to the far shore. So they what? They're not located in China. Is that what they mean? But they said Richmond. It's confusing. Kara, have you been to Richmond, BC? No.
No,
Well, they didn't misspell anything. I guess that's a plus.
That's true. But they did say that they are perfect English.
oh, my internet's so bad right now, you guys.
So glad it's not just me.
Jerry, maybe you
Not
should
very
share
weird.
the website and let Kara comment.
That's what I was thinking, because me sharing the screen is just making it way worse. So maybe somebody else could share.
Yeah, I got you.
The Asian internet. He's got probably the best internet of all of us.
What's it's funny because we're supposed to get like storms.
That's so funny when people are like, "Oh, you're in Mexico. That's why you're having storms." Actually, when I was in Canada, we had storms and the internet went out too. Even worse because in Canada, sometimes the power, or on the island, the power can go out for days.
Let's see. All right, I'm gonna start screen sharing.
By the way, Cara, I messed up. Today was supposed to be some shamanic circle thing that I'm totally missing because I told you the wrong day.
Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry.
But I didn't find out till like yesterday. So I did. You already made an announcement and I was confused. So I was like, whatever. There'll be another shamanic circles.
Okay. Well, I'll have about 10 minutes left before I'll have to go.
Pumpkin.
All right.
So like right off the bat, calling with efficiency, that really doesn't help. I don't think.
Yeah. Makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
It would make sense back in 1910s or 20s.
So my friend, I mean, these are Mexicans. I don't know for sure, but I know my friend hasn't lived in the States or Canada for most of their life. So they've spent most of their lives, or at least my friend in Mexico. So just
But what he's trying to do is help people that are like connect with people that don't have the same language. So people that are speaking English and people that are speaking Spanish, connecting those together so that they can have somebody that can guide the conversation and get them both to a happy conclusion. Is that my understanding?
Where is that communicated?
You just weird. I thought they were like an agency for employees to hire
Yeah.
people when you need a call center.
all right, let's see. Oh, let me go back to screen sharing.
Your screen sharing.
How do I go back? Back to the home page. I thought this was interesting. It said, hire us. We find the best people to join your amazing team, fluent in English and Spanish to fulfill your team's needs.
So it's a bilingual hiring agency.
Yes.
By the way, I just tried to look up tasks and I found like 4 different things that it could possibly be. I'm assuming it's taxpayer advocate service, but I've also
No.
found one for construction. I found one Texas accessibility standards.
That's it.
That's
it.
There's one for environmental services. So they really need to, yeah, the aviation society, there's so many tasks. So they need to define that.
Definitely.
Well, thank you guys.
So they're a Texas-based Chinese company, huh? That does call to call for people who don't speak English. It's the Texas thing.
I'm sensing that they could be on top of something. I certainly feel like there's room for improvement.
Spanish. Do they have a Spanish website? Maybe that makes more sense. Can you show me the Spanish version?
No, I don't have one.
No, they don't have one. This is all they have.
In the Facebook page.
Or maybe the Facebook thing is getting more action from it. Sounds to me like they need some marketing help for sure.
Don't sacrifice your management style. Just, I don't get that.
I'm gonna share the Facebook page real quick.
Sure.
Those girls are cute. They're way cuter than those stock photos.
Yeah, I think you actually. Right.
They're out of Merida.
They're a telecommunication company. Okay, that I understand everything. This is very clear. It's the same person wrote this as the other website.
No, I think this is a social media person that's writing this. This person said info, please. I don't know. That's like.
So this
Yeah.
is basically to recruit people, like the workers. The other website is for the businesses. Is that, I'm guessing.
So this is bilingual telephone agent.
Right. So somebody who can answer the phone in English or Spanish.
Yeah.
Hey, I could be a bilingual telephone agent.
So it's just really about advertising.
This side, advertising for their employees, they have it down. But advertising for their customers, they have no fucking clue. They have no idea what their customer wants. They have no idea what their customer is falling asleep at night thinking. They have no idea what struggles their customer. And they're throwing out all these random words that mean nothing. Don't sacrifice your management style. When in reality, sacrifice, management, and style are not words that ever cross the customer's minds.
Yeah.
I would say,
sorry, go ahead.
I would just say, you know, with the current situation, the way it is, there's a lot of people that are English language that are moving to Mexico. And then there's certainly still a lot of people that are of the Spanish persuasion that are in the United States that, you know, can't communicate in English, that, you know, are still people that are customers or buyers, or, you know, they're trying to get where they need to be, that need somebody to be that in between, that obviously this company can serve those people. And if they knew that, they'd probably have a lot more business.
Sounds like you want to make a whole other company. Like on the go
Well, I mean,
services.
like if you're in Texas and you're serving the public, you should have the ability to speak. You should have people that can speak both English and Spanish. And certainly in big cities in Mexico, you should have, if you're in business, you should have people that can speak both languages, because there's immigrants going both ways.
Honestly, most people I know in Texas speak Spanish already. Like
Most
a
people,
huge amount.
but that,
Well, you talk something your phone can do though. I mean, your phone can do translation on the go. If Bob really tried, when the phone rings, he can zip up, pull out his Google Translate and go.
but that's a whole nother thing, is you got all these old people that are like 50 plus that don't have that grasp on technology, and they need somebody that can hold their hand.
But they're not willing to pay for it, or are they?
I think if it got them where they're going, they would obviously see the value and benefit.
Do you have any last?
Maybe
Uh,
that's job. When the military finishes with him, Jerry's going to be a on-code Spanish English translator. See, Jerry, you already have a job.
There we go. Yeah, Kara,
Mhm.
any comments?
I mean, just kind of playing off same of what the other guy's saying. I mean, that needs to be really clear on what the offer is and what, there's a lot of vague language, and it's not crystal clear exactly what they're offering their customers. And it needs to be communicated clearly right away at the top of that homepage. Like, I think they attempted to, but it's just still not like as clear as they can make it exactly what they do and what they offer right up at the top, and then continuing to expand upon that in the rest of the website.
Yeah, I think we established that like as soon as we landed on the website, but I was asking more of to conclude this meeting because I know you have to leave soon.
Yes, I do.
Well, for the company, I have one more thing to say. I think that what they need to figure out, okay, so basically their target market is a hiring manager at a large corporation, right? Or a medium to large corporation company. It's not a time, it's probably the call. It has to be from a higher on the large enough company, right? So
We lost Agnieszka like 6 seconds
Yeah.
ago.
I stopped being able to hear you.
Froze.
Wasn't sure if
She
it was
froze
just
with
my shitty internet.
hi. Hello.
Hello.
there you are.
There you
Hi,
are.
I turned off my video. Okay, so basically it's a hiring manager who, when he's falling asleep, he's thinking, oh shit, instead of doing my real work, I have to go and interview 7 idiots tomorrow. And it's going to be such a pain in the ass. And oh my God, like I really don't want to switch my time. I have so many other meetings for like operational stuff. And now this vacancy, I have to do all these fucking interviews, and what a fucking bullshit experience. And then a company like your friends come in and say, hey, you don't have to do all these bullshit interviews. We can do the interviews for you. And if you just hire from us, you have a vetted, certified person who not only speaks Spanish and English, we've already tested them and they're super perfect and great and ready to go. And it eliminates 90% of the headache of that person's job. But I guarantee you that as that hiring manager is falling asleep, the word sacrifice and style never cross their mind.
Big
Holy
opportunity.
fuck, how many interviews can I do in one day is probably what crosses their mind. Or I hope that interview tomorrow is not as shit as it was the one today, because that person, I mean, They didn't even know how to read and write in one language, let alone 2 languages, you know, that kind of thing. Those are the things that are crossing their mind as they're falling asleep.
Yeah.
And with we don't have to use expletives in advertising, but we have to understand that that's how they're feeling about it. That's how they're feeling about it.
Agnieszka, I want to say, I hope you figure out your work schedule, whether, you know, from what you said earlier, working at night. And Kara, thank you. And Michael,
Thank you.
if you want, yeah, we'll talk, Michael.
Yeah, I'll send you a message. Yeah, thank you very much, Kara, and Agnieszka. Good stuff.
Thanks
Really
for bearing
appreciate
with
the
my
help, and
terrible
that was
internet
very
today.
valuable.
Thanks for
It was good.
wonderful.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.